What if I told you it is more important when you eat than what you eat? Welcome to our channel. Well, in this video, we are going to find out what fasting is, its pros and cons, how you can fast as a beginner, and who is exempted from fasting. When we're fasted, insulin levels are low and we can tap into fat stores for energy. Free, flexible, simple. Have you ever heard of the term fasting? And if you plan on doing it, do you have any idea how to start your fasting right? Let us know in the comment section down below. Fasting is a process wherein people restrict their intake of food or drink for a certain amount of time. This is usually done for 4 major reasons, which are medical purposes such as when people have medical tests or have a big operation, religious beliefs like how Christians or Muslims abstain from food and drink to devote their time to prayers and practice resisting temptations, political protest like doing a hunger strike to push for policy changes, and lastly, dieting for the purpose of losing or maintaining weight. Maybe you are hesitant to start your journey of fasting because there are people around you saying that it is depriving, unhealthy, or should only be done occasionally, but don't worry because that is not the case when you do this right. In fact, healthy fasting enhances the physiological markers of our health and can make us physically and mentally healthy. Specifically, it lowers our risk of overnutrition, metabolic diseases, chronic illnesses, cancer, and inflammation, and improves our cognitive performance, physical appearance, and overall fitness. While you think all of these are ideal, consider all the risks it can pose when you overdo it, such as disrupting your sleep, escalating your stress levels, and experiencing dehydration, headaches, hunger, and/or heartburn. The main reason for this is the slowing down of our metabolism that results because the body wants to save energy when we starve ourselves or receive less food than what we need. Additionally, make sure you have strong self-control because you may start feeling guilty or shameful when you still overeat during your feeding state. Be consistent as well because once you stop fasting for a long time, your appetite goes back and you may feel hungrier than ever, resulting in you eating more. So how can you start fasting as a beginner? First, seek help if you have an addiction to smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol because this can hinder the optimal effects of fasting. But if you do not have those problems, what you need to avoid as a beginner is being aggressive or jumping on doing extreme fasting, as you need to train your body. Begin this by gradually cutting back the portions of the food you eat and only drinking water instead of juice or sodas to avoid bloating, and eating extra calories, and by starting to fast for a minimum of 12 hours before extending your fasting window. This is because you want to help your body adjust first to this setup since it is used to being refueled many times a day. Another helpful piece of advice is that when you are eating, you must chew your food thoroughly. In this way, you can stimulate the production of digestive enzymes that can promote better digestion, thus helping us feel fuller. Next, make sure that before fasting, you do not load yourself with processed foods, but instead choose to eat whole foods to avoid getting extremely hungry or weak. Meanwhile, during fasting, do not do strenuous activities because your body may be pushed beyond its limit. Instead, you can do yoga or walking workouts. In case you feel like your diet is lacking nutrients as a result of reducing your food intake during fasting, take vitamins and mineral supplements to avoid being deficient in essential nutrients. Moreover, if your fasting time is about to end, do not forget to avoid binge eating. It is better to learn to control the calories you're eating by taking small bites frequently within your feasting time. Also, get enough sleep because when we are sleeping, the body regulates our appetite by increasing our leptin, or the hormone responsible for making us feel full. Therefore, when we wake up the next day, we do not feel too much hunger anymore because this hormone has been boosted. Most importantly, do not forget to have a cheat day because it can help your body recover. After doing the tips previously mentioned, you may be ready to do one of the types of fasting diets commonly known as intermittent fasting, or IF. So what are the common types of IF? Firstly, we have time-restricted feeding or consumption of meals within a certain amount of hours, then consuming nothing during the other remaining hours. IF plans like 16-8 or 14-10 are the most recommended ones because these are the easiest and most sustainable for starters like you. A helpful tip is to adjust the time to fit your personal schedule or lifestyle. For example, if you have work at 10 in the morning and find it hard to concentrate without food, then instead of the usual 12 noon to 8 p.m. feasting time in the 16-8 fasting plan, you can make it 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Second, we have alternate day fasting or consumption of little to no calories every other day and eating without restriction on the days in between. Third, we have periodic fasting wherein calories consumed are limited for multiple consecutive days of your choice, then eating freely on the other days remaining. Lastly, we have the 5-to-2 eating pattern wherein consumption of foods without restriction is allowed 5 straight days each week, but not allowed on the remaining 2 days. But what happens when we fast? When we fast, our body utilizes our glycogen and glucose. Thus, it will tap into the stored energy reserves from fat, which is released as ketones. It is the chemical that helps cells work at their full potential, reduces insulin levels in the blood, stops cancer development, and protects the body from inflammatory diseases. Though we need to be careful because having too many ketones in the blood is harmful to our health as the blood becomes too acidic. I would just like to emphasize that since you are a beginner when it comes to fasting, you may think that feeling unwell is normal, but please take it easy. If you feel that fasting is already negatively affecting your everyday tasks and frequently makes you feel uncomfortable, tired, or irritable, then it might be your body telling you to stop. We learned that fasting reaps some health benefits, but before deciding to do this, make sure you are not one of the people who are exempt from doing this kind of practice. But before answering this, if you like this video, smash that like button. And if you're still not following us, click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to answer more questions like this. Fasting is generally safe for most people, but if you have eating disorders such as anorexia nervosa or binge eating disorder, chronic kidney disease, heart disease, or diabetes, refrain from doing this as it may worsen your health problem. The same goes if you are a minor or under 18 years old, elderly, underweight, or have a BMI less than 18.5, are currently pregnant, breastfeeding a baby, or trying to conceive, or are a patient recovering from illness or surgery. Furthermore, if you are taking medications, consult your doctor first before doing this because there are medications that need to be taken with food. While if you are an athlete, consult your coach or nutritionist first because fasting cuts back the calories you need for your intense training. To conclude, I advise that you try fasting and see for yourself whether it is working for you or not. Only you, along with the guidance of health experts, can decide what is right or wrong for your body. We must do this with caution because this is a topic where research still collects evidence that it is fully effective and safe for humans, especially if you're an older adult. Also, remember that before starting to fast, learn about fasting so you can decide if it would not be a problem for you and manage your expectations so you won't suffer the consequences of fasting in the wrong way. Though if losing weight is your main goal, then opt for having a healthy, balanced diet with proper exercise instead, which is tested and more effective than fasting. Because the latter makes you think you are easily losing your body fat fast, even when your weight loss is mainly due to rapid loss of your fluid. That's it for now. Stay happy, healthy, and fit. Just a friendly reminder, consult a doctor and a registered nutritionist dietitian to find out what works best for you. And again, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell to keep up with the latest trends and interesting information about health on the Progressive Health channel. Thank you.